Fucking in here, let me send out a link real quick. Try this shit out. Let's see. Yeah, that was some nasty stuff with the Reem, man. Holy fuck. That lip was just bad. All right, I'm gonna give it a few minutes and see if I can get two or three people in here. Got a nice red going for Bo tonight. All right, let's see what we got here. Jesus, Reem's lip. Holy shit. Just nasty stuff. Nasty stuff. All right, I'll give it a couple minutes here, see if anybody gets in here. Yeah, I mean, I thought he was up all 4 rounds. I think a judge or two gave him the fourth, I believe. Rosenstruck the fourth, but yeah, I mean, Reem, he's been a different guy over the past couple of years. He's learned to fight smart, and hell, he did tonight, man. I thought he looked really good. And I bet Rosenstruck, um, yeah, you just never know. Rosenstruck about gave that fight away too, man, walking away like that. Yeah, I thought he got the fourth too. I believe Lance had him like winning like the third and the fourth or something. I don't know how much I agree with that, but hell, on Lance's scorecard, I think Lance might have had Rosenstruck winning a decision because I'm pretty sure he was winning the fifth. So yeah, it's pretty wild. Yeah, he's he's high without smoking. I'm telling you. All right. Well, I guess it's me and you right now, Derek. I'm gonna give it a few more minutes, man. See if anybody jumps in here before I get going here. Mm-hmm. Niggas been crazy. China, whatever. 2 a.m. I don't know how people sleep after shit like that. How you sleep after seeing Reem's lip hanging off his face? Yeah, I bet Rosenstruck, but it was nothing big. What was surprising is I thought If Reem had got on top of him pretty much at any point, it'd have been over. Then Reem's on him for like 3.5 minutes in the first round, and he gets out of it. Then I thought, like, hell, if Reem's on the feet with Rosenstruck for any amount of sustained amount of time, Rosenstruck's going to knock him out. Then Reem goes like 3 rounds with him on the feet and survives until the last 4 seconds. It's fucking heavyweight MMA, man. It was wild tonight. Peak heavyweight MMA tonight. That fucking Rothwell fight was just about as peak as it gets. All right. Before we start the obligatory cheers to Bo. I'm sure you will see this tomorrow, maybe the next day. As always, got a nice red going. We will dive into this card a little bit, just go over it. Like I said, always just kind of look at the betting angle myself. I'm a complete degenerate, so that's what you get on this Ranting card. If my music is too loud, somebody holler at me. Yeah, but first, before this card, my boy AJ came through this afternoon. Hopefully, people followed on Twitter. I talked to a couple guys in some chats and stuff, and got as many people as I could on that over. My dude Matty, Addy G on Twitter. Dude's legit probably the best boxing bettor that I know. Good all around bettor. He's. I hate pumping his head up all the time. I tell this motherfucker, like, I hate pumping your head up as much, but it's deserved. Matty's what a lot of these dudes pretend to be on Twitter. All these pro gamblers and shit that try to sell their $9.99 fucking packages and shit with their padded fucking records and shit. You know who the fuck you are, but I like the over going into the AJ fight, man. And when I talked to Matty and he loved it, was his biggest boxing bet in years. Man, I went in big on it. It paid off tonight or today, this afternoon. Just going into that fight, man, if you know just a little bit about boxing and follow it just the slight bit closely, you should have been able to tell how this fight was going to play out. AJ was going to be a completely different guy in this fight. He was going to box. Dropping the 10, 12 pounds of bulk was just huge, in my opinion, just huge. I can't remember the last time. It's been a while since AJ went 12 and looked like he did after 12 like that. He always gasses. I mean, that's been a big problem of his. He's always gassed in fights, and he looked great, man. I know there was a lot of hate for him after that fight. I mean, he's got his flaws. He's going to get a lot of hate, I think, just because he's not. He was supposed to be the next just absolute untouchable guy and stuff. And I mean, it's heavyweight boxing, man. There's some guys with some big power in that division. Then watching the videos of Andy Ruiz just slamming pizza and tacos and shit leading up to this fight. Dude put on 20 pounds of just absolute shit. That was a bad sign, man. That was a really bad sign. I mean, most people ain't as old as me and don't remember, but Buster Douglas, after he beat Mike Tyson, I mean, that dude literally went to living the life. Got fat as shit. got his money, got paid, started living, and got fucked up in his next fight. Andy didn't get fucked up, but you could see the writing on the wall with those weigh-ins. That was humongous. That dude look. I mean, he's always been a chubby big guy, but he looked like absolute just shit coming into that fight. Yeah, but just a massive bet for me on the over. Also had AJ by decision at plus 365. Had AJ money line and a couple fight parlays. Just absolutely killed that fight. And props to my dude Matty. Was on that over just massively because of him as well being aligned with me. Going forward, I mean, how good though, like is boxing's heavyweight division again? Like when I was growing up, like, I mean, that's how I got into boxing. I can remember, sitting on my grandpa's lap watching Ali fights on Wild Water Sports and shit. But that's how big heavyweight boxing was back then. And I'm not saying it's anywhere near that anymore. Of course it's not, but it's really cool to see a lively division, man. I mean, you could put Wilder, Fury, and Joshua in any of them against each other, and it's just an intriguing fight. Fury's growing on me, man. That guy, he gives them dudes problems. I think, me personally, I think AJ could beat Wilder because I think he boxes absolute circles around Wilder. But Wilder, he's definitely got the biggest game changer maybe in the history of combat sports. I mean, that dude's power is fucking insane. I'm not sure I've ever seen anybody with the power of Deontay Wilder. It's incredible, but that dude's not that good, man. He's not that good of a boxer. He just really isn't. All of his fights. I mean, some of them he was getting beat up by Ortiz the first fight, and he just caught him. He's got that equalizer, but I favor AJ over him. Man, I think Fury. I personally think Fury got up off the deck against Wilder and won that decision. So I like Fury against both of those guys, and I've been the biggest AJ fan that you could ever, outside of Britain, for a while now, and he's got his flaws, man. He's got serious flaws. I hope this AJ that showed up today continues to show up. He doesn't need to have all that muscle on him. It's just not good for him. I know he got some big knockouts with it, and it's just not good. He's such a good boxer. He's been that way since the Olympics. He should stick to that. He's got a suspect chin. Stick and move and box. He's really good at it. Him versus Fury is a fight I just have to see, man. I got to see that fight. Of course, everybody wants the Wilder fight. I'm more intrigued by AJ Fury personally. I really want to see that fight. But yeah, that started the day off really, really good. Had just a crazy good betting day on combat sports. Pretty much swept the UFC card outside of two draws that, yeah, one, man, just absolutely livid for one of them, but we'll talk about it. I had a parlay going with every fight except the Mallory Martin fight. I didn't have that in there. And I believe it was around 60-1 or something like that. I had every fight outside the Martin fight and had fight doesn't go the distance in the main. And I believe that was around 58-1, 60-1. But with the two draws, I'm not sure what it pays. I haven't gone and checked it yet, but still a really, really good parlay to hit, and hit big on Font. I love Font tonight. If you listen to our little shitty MMA show, the analysis, which I'm sure the four people that are looking at my dumb ass right now probably listen to analysis, but we that was our unanimous bet this week. We really love Font going into that fight, and yeah, was really big on font, and my boy AJ today, and it paid off. So really good betting day. Um, we have fun at least, Derek. That's for sure. Um, I'll give it a couple more minutes, see if we can get a couple more people in here. But yeah, it was just a fun day of combat sports today, man. It started early. I know most people don't watch it, but KSW was just absolute fucking crazy today. Just dead bodies all over the place. Won't really touch too much on the Tito fight. That was just what a farce of a fucking fight tonight. I'm not sure what they're doing with combat. They got a lot of they do a lot of squash matches on some of these fights, but the dogs hit quite a bit on there. It's pretty interesting if you look at it, but I don't know what they was doing with Tito. I guess they're going to ride his name a little bit. Most people that follow me on Twitter know how I feel about the whole, Donnie, Donnie Dumbfuck and the whole MAGA crowd. But to each their own. But to watch Tito go full MAGA is just it's actually pretty hilarious, man. To watch that dude wearing a border patrol hat in the post fight, being an immigrant, being the son of immigrants and shit. It's actually pretty hilarious to watch. But I won't get too political on this shit. Yeah, but that was just a farce of a fight, man. I don't know what the fuck they're doing over it in combat. Um, yeah, man. That over him lip was it was levels above what Robbie's was, and we all lost our mind when Robbie got his lip cut like that against Rory, and Reem's lip was just way beyond that. Um, Pick after pick just kept popping up on my timeline, and it was just worse. Each angle was worse and worse and worse. So yeah, it was ugly, man. Hate to see that from Reem, man. The guy's really changed his game over the past couple years, and um, he was winning that fight pretty fucking handedly, man. It's heavyweight MMA though. Uh, I know Rosenstruck better watch his shit though. Like he's calling out my boy Haganu, and that's not gonna end well for him, man. They should probably slow down with him a little bit because I like him. I'm a fan. Um, they need to build him up a tiny little bit before throwing him into deep water like that. Uh, but yeah, we'll jump into these fights a little bit. One more for Bo. I thought it was a pretty good card tonight. There were some dull spots. I mean, the Rothwell and Strude fight was kind of dull at times, but then it just got just a total shit show. Like I said, peak fucking heavyweight MMA. The main got slow at times, but then we get a crazy finish like that. So I thought the card was really good, and I wasn't too excited for it going in. Thought it delivered pretty good. Um, so yeah, I enjoyed it. But yeah, we'll run through them. First one was Muradov and fucking hot sauce, and man, hot sauce. That dude might want to end up calling it, bro. I mean, his mouthpiece on that knockout was like a goddamn UFO going through the crowd, man. That combo he landed, that 1 2 3 combo was just so beautiful, so perfect. I like Muradov, man. That guy's really well rounded. His wrestling is really good. That combo was just fucking beautiful. Got some pop. I'm intrigued. Uh, Not sure. sometimes they rush these guys in the UFC. Sometimes they build them up. We'll see what they do with him, but hopefully they go slow with him. But I think he's got some skills. Then yeah, the Jardino Martin fight. I think I was jumping in the shower when this shit was going on. Really don't give a shit. I think Martin got subbed out. Who really cares, man? Then yeah, Joe Selecki and Matt Wyman. I mean, fuck, man. What is Matt Wyman doing? I don't get it. The dude didn't fight for 5 years. They pulled him off a fucking construction site or out of a Waffle House or whatever the fuck he was doing at the time, and they fed him to Luis Pena and then this kid, and he just gets absolutely smashed. Probably making like 12-12 or some dumb shit like that. I don't get it. I don't know what the fuck he was doing. I hope Matt Wyman goes back to whatever he was doing before this. That's just some of the weirdest matchmaking that we talked about it on the show with the Pena fight when he came back after 5 years. Like, what is fucking Matt Wyman doing? And then they feed him these young fucking guns like they fed him in these 2 fights. I don't get it, man. Not sure what Matt Wyman does from here. Hopefully he doesn't fight again. Yeah, my cuz Bryce Mitchell. We disowned him after the fight. You can probably guess why. Still, crazy fucking finish, man. I believe that was only the second twister finish in the history of the UFC. Him and the Korean Zombie. That was beautiful work, man. I got on the plus money. Not big. I thought it was a close fight. Hindsight, of course, I really wish I would have went in a little more on Bryce there. That was a clinic on the mat, man. That kid's really good on the mat. Hopefully he doesn't take a chainsaw to his ass or his balls or whatever the fuck happened to him last time when he's in the hospital with the bloody boxers and shit. And the dude gets back in there and fights here soon. Yeah, it's a really young guy. I liked him on Tough. And then I think he's getting some really good training now. It's at a pretty good camp. So, yeah, dude should be making leaps and bounds. And, yeah, I like Bryce Mitchell. Oh, Derek, you missed his post fight. Yeah, he went full Tito. we'll put it that way. He went full Tito. Let's see. All right, next one. Billy Quarantillo. Man, seriously, that's about as one-sided as a fight can get. I mean, I'm sure there's been others, but that was bad. Kilburn's corner should have probably saved him after the first, but that was ugly. That's really all that needs to be said about that fight. Tim Means and Tiago. Yeah, I thought this was a get right fight for Means coming in. Got a little worried, man. Means looked really soft coming in this fight. Understandable coming off a fucking broken leg, but he looked soft. He looked out of shape coming in this fight. But I mean, that's Thiago Alves, man. I don't know how that guy's fighting in 2019. I think he fought for a title against GSP like a decade ago. So, yeah, Alves fighting in 2019 is just still kind of crazy to me. But yeah, Means did what he needed to do. I know he grabbed that sub. What was that? Yeah, Means by sub was over plus 1,400. Like, that's kind of crazy. I expected a knockout, but yeah, sub at plus 1,400, kind of crazy. Didn't really look at that at all. Still, if you got some of that, props to you. I know they said that Alves had fought out his contract in this fight, so free agent. I said after the fight, I hope that was the last we see of Alves, but apparently he said that he wanted to fight out his contract and go test the water. So, I mean, World Series of Fighting, Bellator, here comes washed out Tiago Alves. Um, it's not good, man. I say it often, but watching them as long as I have, man, these past few years has been getting kind of bad with seeing that first guard starting to get just the shit beat out of them, and it's not fun to watch, man. I really wish these guys would call it. He's done in the UFC. Probably like Bellator or something like that. He's gonna fight again. Bellator loves their name, so hopefully he can go over and they'll give him 100K or something. I'm sure he can make a little more money off his name, but it's still not. It's not good. Yeah, my boy Rob Font tonight. Do look good, man. I really, really liked him coming in this fight. Ricky Simone was a tough out. I thought he would be a tough out. I've bet on Ricky Simone in the past and won some money. I think the loss to Faber got you a really good price on Font tonight. I thought Font should have been a bigger favorite than that. But going in that third round, it was 1-1, and Simone got a takedown a couple minutes into that third round, and I think I tweeted it out. Like I can't tell you how many times that I've bet a guy and they go into a third tied 1-1, get taken down like that, and literally just lay there and lose a fight. Got up off of his back. He got up off of his back in the center of the cage too, or almost the center of the cage. He wasn't on the cage, and got up. You have to have some sort of get up game in this sport now, man, or you will lose rounds. Even though they're not supposed to score rounds where dudes just lay there on top of you, they still do. I don't hate that personally. I think if a dude is on top of you, controlling you, even though if he's only throwing a couple punches every now and then, he's still winning. Though I don't agree with how some people kind of look at scoring that now. Now they kind of almost penalize a guy if he's on top, not doing nothing. Still, if the guy on bottom is just laying there on his back, I don't care if you're just laying on top of him, you're still winning the fight, in my opinion. Font could have laid there and lost that fight. He didn't. He got up, and man, his boxing is really good. That jab was on point. That was the fight. His jab was so good tonight. You rarely see that on MMA fighters. They don't know how to throw a jab, or they don't know how to do it consistently. Font did that very well and very consistent tonight, and it won him the fight. Yeah, my other big bet of the night outside of the AJ over, and it came through. Love Font. Not sure what you do with him. That's just a really good division, man. There's so many guys, so many matchups for him. So yeah, should have something good for him in his next fight. I know he's talked about wanting to fight more. So yeah, we'll see. Next. So I'm not sure that I saw one person tonight that thought Yadong won that fight, or thought that should have been a draw. That's as bad as it gets, man. Like, seriously. Not one judge gave Stamen the second round. That's fucking atrocious. That is bad. That is just bad. I don't know what you're even watching. I don't even know if you know what you're watching if you had that fight a draw. That was just fucking bad, man. I had Stamen at like plus 180. I thought it was good. I had multiple people sending me messages like, man, I turned the TV off. I changed the channel to check on a game because I thought it was good. And I don't know, man. It's still the worst part of this sport. All these years later, year after year after year, we just keep talking about how bad the judging in MMA is. It's almost like the NFL refs got a few years ago after they did the replacement refs, and everybody was like, "Fuck this, it's time to do something about it." They're still bad, don't get me wrong, but um, the UFC now is a $7 billion company. $7 billion. There is no reason whatsoever why they shouldn't have some sort of full time uh, refereeing kind of classes, and um, you need to evaluate these guys on a weekly basis, almost like the EPL does refs. Like they every week they come in, they watch tape, they evaluate these guys, they evaluate their calls. The best ones get the best assignments, the worst ones get the worst assignments. MMA needs to get to this because it's guys' careers, man. Seriously, they are the deciders of where guys' careers can go. Um, and not saying this hurts Cody Staman's career whatsoever or anything. It doesn't, but it's just another case of just atrocious refing, or my bad, judging. Uh, isn't it about time we try to start getting this shit right? Um, because it's just like we talk about this shit. Every card almost has a bad decision, if not one, multiple bad decisions over and over and over. It just happens every week. Um, they want to act like they're a sport. They want to be on ESPN. Uh, get this shit right. It's bad. It's really bad. I don't think anyone can argue that draw was just bad. Um, Horace, my boy Blazes. There's the NBA sharp there. Yeah, man. The judges were bad tonight, dude. Um, and speaking of ESPN, look, I'm all about the Jimmy V stuff. Love the Jimmy V. Donate for cancer research. Do everything you can. But fuck, man, you can't like have like we're watching fights. You're pumped up from a fight, and then they go into like this cancer story and shit. That shit just was not made well for TV, man. For a sporting event to cut from, I could see maybe doing it a couple times in there, but literally after every fight, we're getting like this sad ass cancer story and shit, and it's like that just was not good TV tonight. I hate to even bitch about it, but I saw a lot of people bitching about it. But whatever. I won't bitch too much about the about the people with cancer. I don't want people coming at me, man. All right. Yeah, Lad. I bet Lad tonight. Man, she looked like shit. She looked like shit until I guess her coach was like, "You look like shit. Go do something." And props to her. She did. Outside of that left hook, though, I mean, she's not great on the feet, man. If she can't get a fight down, she's in some trouble. She is young, so we'll see where it goes. But Lad at about minus 150 was pretty nice. That was something I had small tonight. Yeah. Then the Rothwell Struve fight. Holy fuck, man! That was as peak heavyweight MMA as you can get. Struve was probably winning the fight. Definitely into the second before he took the nut shots. I know I said that he should have probably stayed down and got the DQ after the second win, but I got messages, and I think people was right. It would have probably been a no contest, but you got to think that would have been something he could have probably appealed to a commission. Like, I don't know how you take two dick shots like that and you don't get a DQ if you can't continue. Like, if that is how the rule would go, then that needs to be changed, because there's no way a dude should take two dick shots like that and it'd be a no contest if he can't continue. But I think really Dan talked that dude into getting back up and continuing, and he got fucking knocked out. Whether that would have been a no contest or a DQ, Struve should have stayed down after that second nut shot. He shouldn't have got up. I know the crowd was giving it to him. Like, fuck that crowd. Like, that crowd, none of those motherfuckers in that crowd had took a fucking kick straight to the dick. Struve should have stayed down. That wasn't smart to get back up. No contest or DQ, whatever. He should have stayed down. That was bad. Neither one of those guys should fight again. Like that was bad. That was just bad stuff. I think tonight was only like a 10 fight card or something, man. It was rather kind of short. It was nice. With them doing these 12, 13 fight cards sometimes, man, they just drag on. Tonight was pretty nice. Yeah, I bet Rodriguez tonight. That was one of my bigger bets as well on the card. I just, man, I guess that was a 10-8 third. I rewatched it back. I could see people giving it. I'm like, I don't score a lot of 10-8s. Like I'm still really old school. And I think they said that tonight was the old rules, which kind of leans more to my line of thinking with scoring fights. Still, I've always been I've always been old school when it comes to scoring 10-8 rounds. Like, you need to beat the living shit out of somebody for it to be a 10-8 round. That was on its way to being one, the third. But when she got up with 45 seconds left or so and got a flurry off on Caballo, I thought that kind of made it a 10-9 to me personally. I understand people scoring it a 10-8. So I can get that draw a little more than the Stamen draw. Absolutely. I still don't agree with it. I don't think that was a 10-8 round. I thought Rodriguez won that fight. I like Rodriguez. There's not a lot of, women's MMA fighters that I enjoy watching a lot, but she's fun, man. On the feet, that chick she throws heat, man. I like her. I really thought she should have won that fight. And yeah, I was on a complete heater if it wasn't for those two draws. But man, that's how the game works with UFC, especially with the judging. My boy Beast Mode, YouTube not giving you the updates. It's just me ranting to like 3 people, dude. Like, I'm glad at least 3 people watch me do this dumb shit. It's good being back doing it. I think we missed a few weeks on the analysis. We kind of had, personal shit going on, all of us. Sometimes it's kind of hard to get schedules to align and shit. Then this shit with me, it's hit and miss. Married, the wife sometimes. Can't live with them, can't live without them, that type of thing. So next week's going to be fun, my dude. Next week is as good as it gets, dog. And as soon as I get after this last fight, I usually go over the next card just a tiny bit. But man, next week is we don't get better than that. What's bad is we get like a couple of those a year, and then like a bunch of watered down cards in between because those are so good. But that card is fucking awesome. Yeah, and then I've talked about a little bit Rosenstruck and Reem. Reem fought a great fight. He really did, man. Reem's game is completely evolved, which is crazy to say in his late 30s. It's evolved over the past couple of years. I know him moving out to Colorado, getting at that camp out there. They've kind of got him more to game plan and got him sticking to him. It worked tonight. He was winning that fight. But Rosenstruck, man, that guy he can take you out. And Jesus, man, that lip is just we'll be talking about that for a while. So yeah, I touched on that quite a bit. Yeah, like Blaza says, man, Ream Betters, man, R.I.P. dude, because that's bad. That was the third latest finish in UFC history. I believe I read 4 seconds left or something like that. That's a bad beat. He was up. He was up 3-1 on the scorecards. I agreed with that. Actually, my bad. I had it 4-0. I thought he won. I thought he was up 4-0. Rosenstruck was winning the fifth. Um, yeah, that's a bad beat. Um, Me personally, I had fight doesn't go to the decision in my like 60-1 parlay before the draws. So I got one on with 4 seconds left. But trust me, over the past, actually it's been a few years now, since Hendo Bisbee 2, when I was out in Vegas a few years ago, main events going to a decision has cost me more money than any bets that I've made over the past few years. I couldn't tell you how many 5 round main events that I've had inside the distance, and they've gone the distance. I can't count them all up. So I got one tonight, but yeah, Ream Betters, man. Um, yeah, I thought it was a good card overall. For what it was on paper, thought it lived up pretty good. But yeah, so let's pull up next week's, man. We'll keep this going a little bit longer. I think I'm only about 45 minutes. Yeah, I tell you what, Rosenstruck, he tried to give the fucking fight away, bro. Like, did he or did he not? Like, he tried to give the fight away. Uh, if Reem doesn't get up and stumble, Rosenstruck loses that fight. That's how fucked up is that? Like, seriously, if Reem doesn't stumble when he stands up, he loses. Rosenstruck loses that fight, because the only reason Mergliata waved it off is because Reem got up and fucking stumbled. Um, I know he said in the post fight like he didn't want to hit him again, but there's a fine line, man. I think we can see. We watch so many fights. We can see when a guy's like trying to be a little dirty and hit a dude when he's out, and a dude being almost a complete idiot like that and almost giving away a fight because he didn't throw a follow-up shot. Like, Rosenstruck should have absolutely kept punching in that situation. That wouldn't have been dirty whatsoever. Um, like I said, he really almost cost himself the fight. He would have lost on the scorecards if Reem didn't stand up and stumble. Um, but I mean, Dan Margliotta even kind of stepped in when Reem went down and kind of touched Rosenstruck when he was walking away. I don't know about Dan tonight, man. Like, he's usually a decent ref. I won't say he's good because he makes a lot of fuck ups, but he's decent. Um, Him saying that shit to Struve tonight, like telling Struve he's winning the fight and shit and he should continue. I don't know about that. That was bad. Like, I don't. A commission should probably look at that. He shouldn't be talking to fighters and telling fighters that they're winning the fight and shit. That's not his place. That has nothing to do with Dan Margliotta. I have no fucking idea why he was saying that shit to Struve tonight. But he should stay out of those type of things. I think him actually saying that to Struve got Struve to fucking continue in that fight and got up and he got knocked out. I'm not sure Struve even continues in that fight if Dan Margliotta wasn't over telling him he's winning. He needs to get up or it's going to be a no contest. He's got to stay out of that shit. That's not his place to be dictating terms of a fight and telling a fighter that type of shit. But anyways, yeah, I mean, look, Dan's like he's like I don't know when judging MMA refs, it's like being average is really good for an MMA ref because so many of them are so bad. Um, the our boy fuck Keith 3 packs of fucking Marlboro Reds a day Peterson. That guy's a good ref. I like Keith Peterson, man. There's some good ones. I can't remember that one guy's name, man. There's kind of a chubby white guy that has a slicked over hair and stuff. Does a lot of cards now. That's really good too. Fuck, I can't remember his name. Um, Goddard has his moments that he's good too, but Goddard thinks he's fucking the best thing to happen to MMA reffing. He's got that fucking cockiness about him that I don't like. Uh, no, not Gary, not that little tank dude. I can't remember what the guy's name is, but yeah, I like Herzog too. I've always liked Herzog. Herzog's he makes some mistakes every now and then, but that's going to happen. But yeah, Herzog is generally one of the better refs at MMA in my opinion as well. But yeah, Mergliotta's he's average, and being average as an MMA ref is actually good these days because guys like Herb Dean, who everybody because he's got the name and been around forever, just thinks thinks that he is just this great MMA ref, and it's baffling because that guy is just bad nowadays. He's horrible. But yeah, reffing and judging still definitely a problem. Yeah, I'm gonna quickly peruse over this card next week. So UFC 245, man. It's what we live for, boys. This is a good one, man. Pretty stacked. I know. So started off, they got Pachota fighting a guy that I'm not sure I heard of. I haven't looked at any tape yet. Was this guy on Contender Series? Yeah, that's the dude off Contender Series. Got an okay win. So yeah, that's a decent fight. Jessica, I don't know why she's still in the UFC. So they brought Brandon Moreno back, him against Kakar in France. That should be a really fun fight as well. Kakar France, I haven't been sold on, man. I think I've tried to fade him his last fight, I believe. But he probably gets it done against Moreno. Has odds come out on these fights yet? I'm sure they have. Let me pull these up real fast. Yeah, haven't even really got to look at the odds too much. Kakara is like a -150 fade somewhere around there. Yeah, that seems about right. Then we got the Shitty Tamer against Chase Hooper. What was Chase Hooper last time out? So he's Chase Hooper coming off Titan. What's the line on that fight? -110 each way. Yeah. Who knows? Yes, we're in consideration. Yeah. Moreno, dog. I'm telling you, I've not been sold on France, and I'm pretty sure I faded him last time out, and he performed like really well last time. Still not sold on him, man. Yeah, then the ghost of Matt Brown against the fucking the ground dust of Ben Saunders. Yeah, I know Matt Brown's been off a little bit and shit, but man, Ben Saunders is fucking washed, dude. Just completely washed. And look, Matt Brown should win that fight, but laying minus 350 on Matt Brown coming off that layoff. I'm not so sure about that, but yeah, he should probably fuck up Ben Saunders. In Heinisch, I actually faded Heinisch last time out. Yeah, when he fought Brunson, that was a massive, massive bet for me. I actually faded Heinisch against Shoeface as well. And Shoeface was actually on his way to winning that fight, and he completely gassed out. So um, I'm not the biggest Heinisch fan. I think he's a good wrestler, but I'm just not the biggest Heinisch fan. And I'll probably be on a Marion at dog odds here. That's probably a bet that I'll be taking on that. Let me see. Let me check the chat real quick. Yeah, Matt Brown being back is pretty awesome. Sometimes these guys need to take a little time off. I guess the only way they can say I'm going to take some time off is fucking I'm retiring for a year and a half. But yeah, maybe we see a good refresh Matt Brown there. He's definitely got a matchup to where he can come back and showcase. That's for fucking sure. Yeah. France showed up last time against De La Rosa, man. He completely proved me wrong in that one. The Brunson Heinisch breakdown is the best moment, dude. I don't remember. I hope I was part of that good breakdown. I don't remember it. I know we was on Brunson. I think we all liked Brunson. Steelers. I agree, bro. Like I like Rosenstruck. I think he's got a decent future, but man, Hagano's the dude. I'm most know me. I'm a Hagano fan from the get go, and I think he's going to be heavyweight champ eventually. So, oh yeah, the Brunson video, yeah, that was good shit, dude. I still look at that from time to time. Let's see. Who else we got here? Caitlin Vieira and Aldana. Now Mike Perry, Jeff Neal should just be batshit fucking craziness. That is a hell of a fucking fight. Whatever you think about Mike Perry, that dude shows up, man. Every time out, he will fight anybody. He shows up and he fucking fights. He throws down. I think he's in some fucking real trouble here. Like I fade Mike Perry as often as possible. That dude is absolutely one of the best fades that you can get in MMA. That for some reason he's always lined pretty closely with guys. People bet him because they fucking like his personality and he throws heat, so they think he can get a knockout. And against guys that are just a little bit better than him, he loses every single time. Jeff Neal coming off that nose, he's in trouble here, man. I hadn't even really looked at odds. Jeff Neal is minus 250 now. It's kind of stayed pretty steady. That's value, man. Seriously, Jeff Neal here is value. I think he's gonna fuck Mike Perry up, man. I really do. Not sure what to expect with that nose, but Jeff Neal's gonna test it. Let's see. Yeah, I agree, Blazis, man. Yeah, look, Mike Perry's he's definitely gotten better. For as dumb as the dude is and all the shit he does, like props to him. That guy trains. He trains hard. I mean, it's documented that he does what he needs to do to get better. and he has. I think he's gotten. I think he's gotten a lot better. He just always seems to be in these matchups to where the dude is just a little bit better of a striker than he is, and he's always in kickboxing matches. It's not like he's ever going to be wrestling and shit. And he just always runs into a guy that's a little bit better of a kickboxer than him. And Jeff Neal I think, is quite a bit better than him. I think that, like, you're right. That's a really, really bad matchup for him. Yeah, no doubt. The nose is. Who knows? He's going to be getting tagged in this one, man. He's coming off like total reconstruction of his nose and shit. He's going to be getting tagged in this one. We'll see how it holds up. Usually, once that nose gets smashed like that, it's going to be a problem for the rest of his career. So, all right. I'm going to get to my boy Jose in a second. Next one. Look, I don't know what Uriah's thinking. Like, I don't know. That guy might have one of the biggest egos that we've ever seen in MMA, and rightfully so back in the day. But he's biting off a whole motherfucking chunk with this cat. Look, Peter Yan is for real. I watched Peter Yan since the M1 fights. I've watched Peter Yan since way back, since before Peter Yan got the shine that everybody's giving Peter Yan now. That guy's been legit for a long while, and I'm telling you, he's one of the 2 or 3 best in that division now. That guy's the fucking real deal, Holyfield. He's gonna fuck Uriah up, man. I don't get Uriah taking that fight. I guess when you're Uriah Faber, you're a gift and a curse, man. You can come back and get fights whenever you want, but you're also the name of Uriah Faber. So the only fights that you're really going to be in is against guys like Peter Yan, the top of the top. And I mean, I know he got that win against, Ricky Simone. I appreciate that. That got me Rob Font at -135. So I appreciate that. But man, this is going to be bad for Uriah. Peter Yan might have the best hands in that division, and that's saying something. That guy's really fucking good, man. This is going to be a bad one for Uriah. Easy one for Yan. Kind of a stay fucking active fight for Yan, and he's up for a title shot. I mean, that guy's in the discussion already before this fight. I mean, I think he's -475 or so right now. If you need a parlay piece to get some even odds, I mean, Peter Yan is that piece, I would think. So, man, look, I'm one of the biggest Aldo fans that you'll ever meet. I bet that guy so many times. Of course, I was on him huge against Connor. I got. Connor got him. Props to him. Then I made tons of money on Auto against Makano and Jeremy Stevens. Just, I can't, a whole chunk against Makano. This is bad though, man. This is really bad. I don't know who's in his ear telling him. If you've seen pics of this guy, this shit can't be good, man. I don't care how much they say he's dieting now and he's just losing some size as he gets older. Man, he looks like, you fucking talking about cancer all night tonight. Otto looks like he's been through 6 months of chemo and shit, dude. It does not look good. I'm completely against him going to 135 and shit. Like, I know why he's doing it. I mean, he's just not the guy. He's just not the number one guy at 145, where he's got no shot at getting a title at 145. I get why he's doing it. he's got no shot at getting a title at 135, man. I can't see how his body holds up to that cut. He looks bad, man. He looks really, really bad at 135. And I mean, I've been one of the biggest Moraes fans since World Series of Fighting, him coming in. I did lose a good chunk on him last time out. I still think Marlon is one of the best 135ers on the planet. I still think he's probably number 2. If he fixed some of the problems that he had out of the Henry fight, I mean, he looked good for, the first round or so. And I think he gassed hard. Like, some people don't think that. I think he fucking gassed really, really hard. I think the whole moment got to him a lot. He's so built. I just think he gassed really hard. I mean, if he fixed that stuff just a little bit, man, I just don't feel good about Otto in this fight, man. I've bet that guy so much for so many years. Been one of the biggest Otto fans you could imagine. Dude's an all-time great. I just do not feel good about this fight, man. I think this could be like, I talked about it a little earlier. I've watched this shit for so long. These like first, second generation fighters starting to get to my age and shit, 40 or so, and they're starting to get hurt really bad. And I'm fearing that this might be that spot for Otto. I don't know. We'll see, man. Maybe Otto pulls another rabbit out of his head. I will not put it past him. Like, the guy's still one of the greatest fighters of all time. And maybe the skills shine through. I'm not seeing it, man. And I'm worried about this fight for Otto. Generally, I'm a little worried with the weight cut, fighting a big puncher at 135 like Moraes. I got a feeling that it's not going to be good, man. I definitely won't be on Otto in this fight, but man, Moraes at under -200 against fucking washed Otto, cutting a 135, looking like a ghost. I'll be looking at it. Not sure I can bet against Otto, man. I can't remember the last time I bet against that guy. Like, I've had money on him like every single fight he's had over the past 7-8 years. It's paid off tremendously, but I'm not sure I can bet against the guy. It's almost like betting against my own team, like betting against Kentucky. It's just, I don't think I can do it. Let me look at this. What up, Casey? What's going on, brother? I see you killed it tonight too, dog. Good work, man. How you see Connor first and Jorge? Well, Connor's got to get through Cowboy first. I think he will. But don't put it past Cowboy at 170 to catch Connor. I wouldn't put that past him whatsoever. I think Connor gets it done there. Man, Jorge at 170 is a bad fight for Connor. Yeah, that's a bad fight, man. We got to see what Connor even is anymore. Like, legitimately. I'm not even sure that Connor's ever the same fighter he was. I think this fight at 170 was more conditional on Connor than it was Cowboy. I don't know if Connor's making 155 and shit. I mean, that guy's lived a life over the past couple years, and that's not even touching on the sexual assault allegations. I'm talking about the partying. I'm not even sure we know what Connor is at this point. So let's see him against Cowboy first, and then we can talk about Jorge. He's got a tough fight against Cowboy. I think he gets it done. Like we talked about on the analysis that we said it multiple times that if Connor came back, the perfect fight for him was Cowboy. It's a name. It's a guy that's going to stand with him. A guy he can knock out. I mean, it's the perfect comeback fight for Conor. So everything's lined up for Conor to have a good performance and get a big fight. But he's got to get through Cowboy, man. I mean, do not write off Cowboy. I mean, how many times has that fucking guy pulled something out of his ass, man? He's a legend in this sport. We cannot look past Cowboy, but I'm glad that Connor's back, man. I mean, he's good for the sport. He's good for the game. The sport. I think the sport showed Connor, though, it will move on. There are other guys. There are Jorge Masvidals. There are Nick Diaz. There are Nate Diaz's. The sport will move on without you. You think you're the draw, the man? No, you are for that moment. You don't want that spotlight anymore. You don't want to be in the game. The game will move on. The fight game moves on. There's always another guy. There's always another fight. Maybe Conor is realizing that now. I think he is a little bit. I think that's why he's coming back. He sees that guys like Jorge Masvidal can steal your shine like that. You can lose it all, and another guy takes your place. That's the fight game. It's been like that for as long as I've watched it, for 25 years. The game moves on. So yeah, that's a good fight. We'll see how Conor performs and comes back. I think he looks good. I think he will look good against Cowboy, and he'll win that fight. And there's big fights for Conor. He's still that guy, but he's got to fight. He's got to get back in the game and fight. I mean, the dude literally hasn't been in a fucking MMA fight for 3 years now. Like I said, people will move on. People will forget about you in this game. Let's see. Yeah, so the 3 big fights on 245. The women's GOAT, Amanda Nunes, won more money off of her than almost any fighter over the past 3 or 4 years. She's gonna kill Duranda May. I mean, I don't know what else to say about that one. She's gonna take out Duranda May. She's just way too good. Let's see. I don't agree with that one. I like Khabib in that fight, but I've said it for a couple years now. Tony is definitely the absolute one matchup for Khabib that it could give you problems. Tony is just a fucking madman. I love fucking Tony. I love that guy. He is the fucking. I think we got another one in play now though with Gagey. Gagey is a crazy matchup for both of those guys too. But those 3 dudes, give me any one of those 2 together, and it's a fucking crazy fight. And I don't know how you could be 100% confident in picking any one of those guys in any one of those matchups. You gotta favor Khabib though. I mean, that the dude's been as dominant as any fighter has been over the past 5 years. I think he's lost like 1 round in his entire career. So, but man, that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be a fun fucking fight. I cannot wait. And just imagine. Hopefully Gagey gets the winner, because we're talking about just another insane, incredible fight against either one of those dudes. Just absolute madness. It doesn't get better than that trio of guys right there. Doesn't get better than that. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, I generally agree on Cowboy, guys. I mean, he's definitely at the end of his game, but literally Conor's been gone for 3 years on coke bingers and fucking sexual assaults, and I mean, we don't know who that guy is. We don't know who's showing up. Cowboy's at least been active. Cowboy's been fighting. You know what I'm saying? Like, seriously, if you can say that Connor from 3 years ago is going to show up. Props to you. Lay the fucking wood on it. But I can't say that. I have no clue who's going to show up. Like, seriously. Um, at this level, I mean, cage rust is fucking real. It is absolutely real. Um, and that's a guy that cage rust is real for guys that ain't living the life that Connor's lived the past 3 years. So I don't know who's going to show up. I think Blazes is right. That's almost like a just watch that one, which I will. We will enjoy that fight, but I mean, you just can't. It's hard to know what Connor is at this point, man. We'll see. It's going to be fun. Let's see. One moment it could be. Hey man, I don't know if any woman can beat Nunez at this point. Like seriously, just she doesn't have just power. I mean, there's not many women at all that's ever been around that has the power that she has. Like Cyborg, maybe that's knocked chicks out like that. She's like technical though. Like she is so fucking skilled with that power. I mean, I've watched this game a long, long time, and I can't remember another woman's fighter that's been as good as her. I mean, she's about cleared out every bit of competition that she has. But yeah, I mean, I want to see Shevchenko again, of course. But I'm not sure it's going to matter. Um, Khabib did arguably lose to T-Bow. He did. That was a long, long time ago. A long time ago in the fight game. If Cowboy beats Coyote, no, no, no. See that's the flip side of what I'm saying though. Like even if Connor does lose the Cowboy, say he does, um, that's not the end of him. That's him getting back in the game. You know what I'm saying? Say he loses the Cowboy, good. I actually hope it happens because maybe that's a wake up call, and maybe the dude is like, I want to be great again. Um, Connor he was a great fighter. I don't think we can even call him that now. We just don't know. But I want to see prime or as prime as Connor can be. I want to see that again. That was fucking fun to watch. That dude was a show. Um, Even if he loses the Cowboy, it's not the end of him. Maybe it's the second beginning of Connor. Personally, I think a loss to Cowboy, not some like knockout or something, but losing a grindy kind of decision to Cowboy could probably be the best thing to happen to Connor right now. Like truly, it would literally show him that you're not that anymore. Get back in the gym, get better, train, stop fucking doing the coke, stop being a fucking idiot. I think a lot of us want to see that Connor again. We'll see. It wouldn't be the end of him though. Like losing the Cowboy wouldn't be the end of Connor. I don't know. Probably Casey probably has to get it to the. I mean, if Cowboy does get Connor to the mat, it's bad for Connor. Like really bad for him. Yeah, stand up. Old Connor wins that fight 10 times out of 10. This isn't that guy though. Like I said, ring rust, cage rust is real. Um, would you be shocked if Cowboy hit fucking some switch kick counter to the head on Connor like he's done so many guys? I wouldn't be shocked. Um, but yeah, I mean, Connor before this layoff and shit would starch Cowboy on the feet 10 times out of 10. But like I said earlier, this is the perfect matchup for Connor. It is for a comeback fight. It's a name. It's a guy that's probably going to stand with you. Cowboy's been known to come out of the blue though and take a guy down and smash him. Wouldn't be shocked by that. It's an intriguing fight. It's really fun. Um, where was it? Oh yeah, the 245. So yeah, the co-main and the main. Um, Max and Volkanovski. I like Max in that fight. I get the arguments for Volkanovski. Um, I'm not really sure that fight's close, man. Volkanovski better get inside, and he better do it a lot, or he's going to get picked apart. Um, Max has some of the best takedown defense in that division, man, and I'm just not sure if Volkanovski can't get him down consistently and be on top of him a little bit. I don't see him winning a kickboxing match. I don't see anybody beat Max in a kickboxing match at 145. I just don't see it. Maybe Volkanovski's got enough power to hurt Max, but I don't think he's got the power of Dustin Poirier. It took the power of Dustin Poirier to take Max Holloway out, and it took a lot of it, like a whole lot of it. I don't think Volkanovski at 145 has got the power to consistently hurt Max to keep him off of him. And Max's takedown defense is just as high level as it gets. So this is going to be a kickboxing match, and if Max keeps it at range, I think Max picks him apart. Saying that this is about the most dangerous fight for Max at 145 in a little bit. I'm not taking nothing away from Volkanovski. I think it's close. I do. Volkanovski is fucking good, man. And would I be shocked if Volkanovski got a couple takedowns here and there and eked out some rounds and made it close? No, not at all. I don't see it though. I think Max probably wins a decision here. I'm glad there's a little bit of new blood there for him at 145. But yeah, it's a good fight. I lean Max. I think people are a little down on Max after his last fight. But you got to look at that fight, man. I mean, that was just he can't move up like that. He especially can't move up to 155 and fight guys that used to fight at 170 and have power that translated up to 170 when they were at 170. That was just bad for Max. This guy is not Dustin Poirier. He's not even anywhere close to the power that Dustin Poirier was throwing. So we'll see. It's a good fight. Wildcat talk. We're gonna wait a little bit. I'm still salty about Evansville, man. We got to play a real team again and win before I talk anything. We got some coming up though. Ohio State and fucking Loserville here in a couple of weeks back to back is going to be the real test. Yeah, the main at 245, man. I've been waiting on this fight for so long, dude. Truly, probably the two best 170ers on the planet, man. Of course, y'all know I like Usman. I just think he's too big and powerful for Kobe. Kobe's probably a little bit better wrestler than Usman. I just think Usman's hands are a little better at this point than Kobe's. And I can't see Kobe getting Usman down. It's not going to happen. That's a stalemate. Usman's the bigger, stronger guy. I think he's going to be able to muscle Kobe. I think he's a little bit better on the feet. I think this is probably going to end up being one of the worst fights on the card, actually. I think this is going to be a shitty, slow 5-round decision for Usman. It's not going to be exciting. People are going to fucking be booing after it's over with. But Usman's going to take it. I'll probably have better hands than Kobe at this point. Look, Kobe got fucking obliterated on the feet by Damian Maia, like obliterated. His hands aren't good enough to stand with Usman. It's going to be slow. It's going to be grindy and plodding, and I think you're going to see Usman kind of around on his waist, holding him against the fence for big chunks of the fight, just throwing little shit up to the head. It's going to be a bad fight. That's my main prediction on it. It's going to be bad. I said that from way back thought Usman would always win, but always thought that it would be a really, really bad fight. And I stick by that. It's going to be boring. I think Usman just does enough to win a decision. I just think he's the bigger, stronger guy. And two guys that are wrestling based like they are, that are fairly even in their wrestling geared towards MMA, not before MMA, but translating to MMA, they're right on the same plane. It's just going to be the bigger, stronger guy leaning on the other one. That's what's going to happen, in my opinion. It's going to be a really boring fight. Usman's going to take a decision. What if Kobe calls him the N word? He probably has before already. I don't think it changes too much. But that's a hell of a card, man. Good way to end the year. I don't think we got anything else too big coming up before the end of the year. I know they're doing the. See, they usually do the Risen New Year's Eve card. Oh shit, we do got another UFC before. So Frankie Edgar is. So who all believes that Frankie Edgar fights the Korean Zombie and turns around a couple weeks later and fights Corey Sandhagen? So apparently they still have that booked as him fighting both fights. I just I can't see that whatsoever. Let's see. Bo's got screenshots of me hitting pins and drinking wines and shit. That's my fucking dude. I love my homie Bo there. Um, where did Dougie ever get in here? Yeah, I was getting ready to ask you, piece of shit. It was like, man, these are some really fucking stupid ass questions. This has got to be Dougie. Fucking prick. Yep, got some Bone Thugs playing 90s hip hop. I'm fucking old. Love you too, dog. You're my boy. Texas again soon, you fucking prick. Since I didn't see you in Vegas, you motherfucker. What is this Abby you're rolling with on Twitter? Who the fuck is that? Whose pick is that? Who fuck? Dougie's wild. All right, boys and girls. I'm gonna wind this down. I'm waiting on Dougie's response to see who the fuck is on his Twitter profile pic. I have no fucking clue what that is. Oh, fuck. You got me over clowning on a dude with Down syndrome and shit, dog. What'd you say, Casey? He's like, you cut the line. Said you was on the list. Dude pulled some fucking some Michael Scott shit. I'm on the list, bro. Yeah, man, I hate laughing at a dude with Down syndrome, but that's a funny ass pick, dog. All right, all right. Let me wind this shit down. Man, as fucking always. Um, Appreciate y'all people, y'all dudes coming around and bullshitting with me a little bit. Except you West Coast motherfuckers, fuck you, Dougie. It's like what, midnight out there. You're still awake anyway, you prick. But yeah, man. As always, appreciate y'all guys hanging out for just a little bit after the fights, man. And we will we'll come back and probably do this again next week. So yeah, cool guys. We'll talk at you then. Smoke one up for the fam, and peace out.